you so much, sir, for joining us at the SHRM Tech Conference, and it's such wonderful talking to you. My first question is, sir, what inspired, and this has been a question that I wanted to ask you for a long time, what inspired you personally to pursue a career in HR or leadership?
Can I be a bit frank on this?
Yes,
question?
absolutely. We want a frank answer.
See, as you know, I am an engineer by profession. I did my electrical engineering from IIT Roorkee way back in 1992 and started my career as an operations and maintenance engineer in one of the private sector companies of VAM Organic Group before moving on to Gas Authority of India Limited at that point of time in 1998. And again, for close to 10 years, I worked as a hardcore technical engineer on the pipelines and project side before moving to the training function as a technical trainer again. And to be very frank, at that point of time, I never imagined that I would ever come to HR and work in HR. So if you talk of, and it was not by choice that I moved, it was company's assignment that they needed a person in HR department. There was possibly not enough people who were there to lead that particular function, and there was a critical requirement that I was given an assignment, and I reluctantly accepted that assignment at that point of time. But having accepted that assignment, I can tell you, when I started working in that area, initial assignment was recruitment and then followed by other assignments. I simply started loving it and started seeing how much value I can add to the systems and processes which were in place. And that is where my love, my passion for HR grew, and I thought that it is something where I can add value. And God has been kind enough, the organization has been supported enough, my seniors, the leaders who gave me that opportunity, they must have seen something that he is the person who can possibly do that thing. That is why that responsibility was given to me. And when I look back in last 10 years when I have been into HR now, I feel a sense of confidence and satisfaction that I have been able to contribute to this function for my own organization as well as to some extent to the industry as a whole. And that's what keeps me driving, and I follow the 4 principles of competence, connect, communication and care for the employees, for the society, as HR professionals and as a professional in my career.
That's so well said. The care part of it is what we've been talking constantly at the SHRM Tech Conference. So you are a role model for the entire HR industry. One piece of advice to aspiring HR leaders, what would be that?
See, one which is important and what we were talking of in the session just now also, that HR leaders have been traditionally wary of tech. They have been hesitating in adopting tech, and now when we talk of AI, one resistance is there. If we go to AI, what will happen to the human touch that we talk about? We have to adopt technology. It's no choice now. It's a compulsion that we have to adopt. We have to get used to AI. We have to see how AI can be used effectively to transform our processes and systems without losing the much needed human touch. That is essential, that when we go for digitization, when we go for tech and enablement, how do we maintain, and again I come back to the 4 C's, that competence in terms of developing AI skills, our own skills or adaptability to the technology, our communication within the organizations as well as outside the organization. Within the organizations we do a lot of communication, but how do we do it outside the organization, how effectively we deal with that outside, that connect with the employees, that connect with the technology, that connect with the systems and processes is important for HR leader, and that connect with the business. That is again one thing which is often talked about. We talk of HR as a business partner, but then we have to have a reverse connection of business as an HR partner. Business now has to partner with HR so that they remain competitive in the market. So they cannot ignore. And the last and the foremost is, as an HR leader, that care must be there always, all the times, whatever we do.
Thank you so much. I wanted to actually ask a question about HR business partnering, but you already answered that. One thing at GAIL I know is a constant focus from your office to create a high performance culture. How can organizations, especially in the PSU space, do that?
See, it's not something which is related to PSU or a private sector. That is again something which disturbs me when we try to create that, okay, PSU needs to do something different, or in PSU it is something which is challenging. My experience of last 27 years now in GAIL, whether I was in an engineering role or in HR role, whatever I wanted to do, whatever target I had thought that I would like to do, even on experimental basis, I always got encouragement from my seniors, from my team members, and that is how I was able to perform. That is how that gave me a motivation to perform and excel in what we are doing. And that is a philosophy we follow, and any top performing organization gives that empowerment to the people down below across the hierarchy to do their work well, to give them freedom and space to experiment with the things, allow them to fail if they are not able to perform. That again, my personal experience says I have learned more from failures than my success stories. So that is the principle, that we have to allow others to fail and try and experiment in whatever they do. And if we are able to do that successfully, irrespective of whether it's a PSU or any other organization, we are bound to have a performance-driven culture in the organization.
So, last question: what priorities is a GAIL working on from a people success perspective, and anything that you think can, SHRM can partner with you on that one?
See, two clear priorities. One is in terms of, as I said earlier, the adoption of AI, because that is something which we can't live without it. In our day-to-day life, we are getting affected with AI. So the quicker we adopt AI into our systems and processes, the better off we will be. And the second thing, when we talk of AI, and the second part, the important part, is to maintain that human touch. And that brings me to the employee engagement part of it, that how do we drive employee engagement and take it to the next level so that people remain connected, they feel they value HR, they value the systems and processes, and they don't see AI as a solution or answer to all the problems. They still feel that, okay, the HR is adding value to the organization. How to stay relevant for it is important for HR in the world of AI.
Great. Thank you so much, sir, for coming and talking to us, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.